fantastic to see a few of you jumping on here, so that's great. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to attend this. And we're just 2 weeks away from our event, so pretty excited about that. We're here to share some important safety information with you and help you prepare for the best possible ride, weekend, and experience. Safety of our cyclists is the #1 priority at Bike MS, which is why we made Think Safe our motto. Bike MS is for everyone, which means that there is a great mix of riders with different experience and skill levels on the road together at every event. So all of us must do our part by being mindful, being visible, and being predictable. So let's get this show started. Briefly want to go over a few best practices for Microsoft Teams. On mute, first of all, we remind you to just please stay on mute unless you're talking. The icon should have a line through it signaling you're muted. Video, next to the microphone is the camera icon. Feel free to join us up here on camera. It's nice to see all your faces while we're talking to you. And then there's that chat feature. So we have that if you have questions or would like to send a hello or celebratory messages or any shout outs or any, if you want to tell us how many years you've been riding, what team you're on, any of that, that's the perfect place to do it for now. All participants will be able to see what you put in that chat box though, so just keep that in mind. And then meet your team. So I'm Erica Barnum. I've probably met most of you. If not, I'm the director for Bike MS, Colorado and Wyoming. And I'm super excited that we are going to be in person this year, along with myself, Jana Fryer. She's here. She can give a shout out or a hi.
Hello.
Is one of our bike managers. And then Brittany Burcham.
Hi.
Is the other one. And I'm sure you have been talking to all three of us multiple times. And then Robin Moore, who is not able to make the call this evening, is our chapter president. So, all right. We all have our part in making Bike MS the safest experience for everyone. So I want to share this short 2.5-minute video that goes over best practices to keep in mind while at our ride on the weekend of June 26th. Oop, got to escape.
Rules and best practices exist all around us, and they're usually put in place to keep you safe and an event running smoothly. Everything from obeying traffic signs and signals, not wearing white at a wedding, and an all too important one, don't eat yellow snow. And it's no different at Bike MS. We want you to have the ride of a lifetime, but everyone is responsible for making Bike MS safe. Some safety rules are well known. Wear a helmet. Stay to the right. Obey all traffic laws. But some might surprise you. Like earbuds or headphones aren't permitted at Bike MS because they can impede your ability to hear traffic and safety warnings. And while it might be tempting to ride right beside all your new friends at Bike MS, don't ride more than 2 abreast and do not impede traffic. Group riding takes practice. Your responsibility as part of a pack includes being aware of others around you and riding with your head up. Being aware of how weather will affect your bike and knowing your limits. Maintaining control and the speed of your bike. Never overlapping your wheels with another cyclist or using aero bars. Being loud and proud with your communication and using verbal commands and hand gestures. On your left, only pass on the left and call out before you pass. Slowing. Let everyone know the cyclist in front of you is slowing down. Use caution and prepare to stop. Stopping. This indicates a rider ahead is stopping. Don't forget to unclip from your pedals. Car back. This means a driver is approaching from the rear. Make an effort to move to the right of the road in a single file until the car passes. Gravel, pothole, sand, tracks alert the rider behind you of hazardous road conditions. Bike MS is an experience, one that takes you further than you've ever gone before, and it's one you'll want to savor. By following the rules of the road and practicing cycling etiquette, you'll be able to soak in what really matters on the ride. The people, the scenery, and of course, the mission to end MS forever.
All right.
So as you
Some
just
great stuff in
oh.
that video. Sorry, go ahead. I'm
No,
just trying to
go
get
ahead.
us back to where we were. Great stuff in that video. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat box. We will go over some more of these in more detail. So Gianna, you can take it away.
All right. So as you saw, safety is always our number one priority. Our focus is to provide a high quality, safe, and fun ride. We do an enormous amount of planning to provide for your safety, but we just ask that you do your part prior to the ride by visiting the bicycle safety page on the bikemscolorado.org website. Here you will find cycling manuals, safety videos like the one we just saw, safe cycling tips, and more. So ride safe, ride smart. Be aware of all obstacles that you may encounter, and also be prepared for railroad crossings. We actually have a few of them on the route, and so just be prepared to go over those. Should a cyclist choose to behave, act, or ride in a manner that is endangering themselves or others, ride officials and police officers have been instructed to remove their bibs and wristbands and prohibit them from continuing on the ride. So remember, this is a ride, not a race. So just to reiterate the video, review the rules of the road, know all the traffic laws and obey them, obey all traffic signs and signals, stay right, look and signal when you're about to turn, unplug devices, please don't wear headphones, they're not permitted on the Bike MS rides, and ride no more than 2 abreast at a time, and do not impede traffic. And then also just be verbal and communicate to other riders about hazards and your movements. If you're going to slow down, put your hand down that you're slowing. Let someone know you're coming up behind them, things like that. And then here we have our ride day packing list, or our checklist, I should say. The few items that we will require that you have, obviously a helmet. You will also need your rider bib. This is to identify you on course if there's ever a medical issue or anything like that. Your bike number so that we can associate your bike with you, and then your ID, your license or some type of identification. So those are mandatory, and we also have some other recommendations here listed. It's a good practice to carry a mask with you, cycling gear, and I won't read all of these, but you can just give a quick once over those. Don't forget your water bottles because it may be warm, and maybe your health insurance just in case, and of course your spare extras for your bike.
Yeah, and thank you again for joining us tonight. Some of you may received your packets already, but in your packets, there will be 4 items that are mandatory for Bike MS Saturday. So it's your bib number. The bib number will assist with identification on the route. Please safety pin it to the back of your kit on the outermost layer, please. So if you do take off a morning layer, please reaffix it, and please use the safety pins that were included in your packet. You also will have an iRide for bib. That's to dedicate for anyone that you're riding for. We'll have additional ones morning of if you are riding for a lot of folks living with MS. Your helmet number, please affix the tag to the front of the helmet for riding ID. And then your bicycle number, affix the number to the bicycle for riding ID on the route as well, just in case for some reason you do get separated from your bike or you put it down for just a little bit at a rest stop. One thing that will not be in your packet, but you'll receive on the day is your event wristband. You're required to wear your event wristband the entire Saturday. This wristband identifies you as a Bike MS participant and grants you access to our rest stops, food, beverages, mechanics, and any other MS services that we are providing that day. So we do pride ourselves on being the most supported ride in Colorado. Rest stops are really important, as we all know, especially if it's going to be hot. So we will have one every 10 to 15 miles. We will also have bike mechanics at the start and finish line and at all the rest stops. So be prepared for your own minor repairs, but you are, as a cyclist, responsible for costs of larger repairs that the mechanics might need to do on your bike if needed. We will have radio communication and medics available at all the rest stops. And then we'll have the motorcycle medics that will also be roaming the route per past years. And then our standard SAG vehicles will be on site. The way to hail a SAG vehicle, a support vehicle, is to move off the path, dismount, remove your helmet, and then do a thumbs down, and they'll stop. It might take a little bit of time for them to come pick you up, but they will happily assist you. We'll be taking precautions for COVID, so don't worry about that. And then also be sure to download our bike route online a week prior to ride weekend, and remember to follow all the route signs. Those will be updated, so we're asking everyone to do it about a week in advance. So now I'm going to hand it over to Charlie Stifler. He is one of our lead medics. He's been supporting our event for quite a few years, and he's actually married to one of our staff members as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Charlie.
Thanks, Brittany. I am very excited to be doing an in-person ride again this year. Little factoid, I actually proposed to Alexis at the last in-person bike we had, and you might hear our 10-month-old screaming in the background while I'm giving my little speech. Please remember sunscreen, put it on early, put it on often. The next day sunburns do not feel nice. When you're recovering from a long bike ride, the worst thing possible is for you to be also recovering from a bad sunburn. Remember to stay cool. Cooling products will be limited on course this year, but for those of us that have MS, like I myself, there will be cooling products available. Please stay hydrated. Drink more than you think you should. It is important to not solely drink electrolytes. Please drink 1 bottle of water for every bottle of electrolytes you drink. It keeps the right balance of electrolytes and water. There will be medics on course in the form of our medical safety crew, which should be about 20 to 25 people wearing medic jerseys. They'll have limited medical supplies, but they do have CPR and first aid, so if you need assistance during a medical or traumatic emergency, they will be there to help. There will also be vehicle medics in pickup trucks or other course vehicles, myself included. Medical SAG is different than regular SAG. If you require medical attention at the next rest stop for a scraped knee, but you're probably going to continue riding, you do have the ability to transport you in one of the pickup trucks that's traveling course. If you require transport to the hospital, we do not have the ability to transport you in course vehicles. However, we will be providing 2 ambulances. They will be provided by Stadium Medical, for which I am a supervisor. They will not bill you. So if you require an ambulance to the hospital, it is free as long as we transport you. So please don't be shy about that. If you're hurt and you need an ambulance, do not worry about that component of it. And that's what I've got, Brittany.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Charlie knows his stuff. He's been around for years and years, and he's seen it all. So make sure you listen to what he says. All right. So I'm up next with some of our COVID safety guidelines. And these have changed a little bit since I think we had our team captain meetup a couple of weeks ago. So based on the CDC guidelines, we have updated our mask protocol. If you are not vaccinated, facial coverings are going to be required. If you are vaccinated, meaning you've had your second shot and you are 2 weeks out from that, facial coverings are optional. We review these practices at our 90-day out, our 60-day out, our 35-day out. And, you know, they may be adjusted within the next couple of weeks, but this is what we're giving to you right now, following along with what CDC says. The next thing we have in place is a wellness screening. So cyclists and volunteers and staff will all receive a link through an email. If you're signed up for text from us, you'll receive a text message. The wellness check will also be posted to the Bike MS Colorado page. And if you miss all 3 of those, it will be available on Saturday of the ride through a verbal check. And basically it's agreeing to our best practices and releasing us of any liability should you contract COVID from our event. And then the third thing I know a lot of people are asking about is when do I start? When do I get to ride out? Due to social distancing requirements, as well as requirements from our start and finish venue, we are having 4 venue access windows. And so what that means is there's 4 waves going out. We are in the process of finalizing those waves tomorrow. They will be posted early next week to our Bike MS Colorado website, as well as an email will go out to your team captain that same day. And any individual riders will receive an email from us letting them know when their start time is. The first window is at 6 a.m. Second window, 6:35. Third window, 7:25. And the fourth one is 8:15. All riders should be on course by 9 o'clock. One thing to note is because we do have restrictions in place from the college, please do not show up earlier than your start time. You will not be permitted on course. You have to wait until the time that is assigned to your team or you as an individual. The one exception to that is if you are riding with MS, you may go in any wave that you choose. All right, so those are our 3 big key things for COVID safety guidelines. That's basically what we have for you. We wanted to leave some time at the end for any questions that you might have around the weekend, around safety. And if you want to hop on, you can certainly do that. We can have a conversation, or if you want to just type it in the chat box, that's okay too. We can go through those questions.
I think she froze. Am I frozen?
Mine's taking a little bit of time.
Oh,
No, it's
did I freeze?
it's telling me I have disconnected.
So we have a few questions in the chat box that we can run through. Again, we were recommending everyone to download the iRide with GPS app that'll have the turn features, navigation. We are recommending about a month out because we are still awaiting final permitting, just in case there's any changes. Let's see what else.
If you miss your start time, we'll get you in the next wave. Jen asked, what does the end look like? It looks like just a typical end. So you'll finish the same place you do in years past. There just won't be as many spectators there to cheer you on. There won't be any medals at the end as well, but we do have a DJ and we have some music, so it'll be a lively finish line.
Like the Sunday finish line usually.
Correct. Yep.
Let's see. If you're on the safety team, is it possible to have an early departure time since it takes us longer to do the course because of stops that we make? I don't know if Alexis wants to speak to that. She's on as well.
Yeah. So, Debbie, we're going to try to get you guys spread out and starting with your teams. as much as possible, because even though you guys have lots of stops to make, we still want to make sure that there's someone in every wave. So we will assign you to a wave based on your team. And then otherwise else, once you get that, if that's not going to work, reach out to me directly and we can adjust your time as appropriate.
For I Ride with MS participants, will there be parking passes? I believe so. All of your I Ride with MS jerseys were mailed out, but if you have not picked up your packet, there will be a parking pass for you in there. And Denise, if you already got yours and didn't get a VIP parking pass, please let us know and we'll get you one. The start is at Front Range Community College. So it's a loop this year. Typically we go from Front Range up to CSU and back the next day. But due to having the one-day events this year, we will start and finish at Front Range Community College in Westminster.
Yep. And make sure you go to there's 4 or 5 Front Range campuses. So make sure you come to the Westminster campus.
Correct. Yes, Wendy, we can adjust your time. Sure. Brittany, can you take note? And we'll get you a pass, Kirk. Yay, there you are. You're on screen. Yay. Good. Nice to see your face. I'll let Alexis answer this one. Is the 34 and 77 mile break off at a decision point? Are you meaning you can pick, or do you have to
Yeah,
the course if you go past one? Yeah.
right. I mean, it looks like on the map, it's you can decide at that moment in time whether or not you're going to go on. Is that right?
Yeah. So we did not ask this year which course you're riding. We've got a pretty good gauge just based on history of which courses you guys are all going to hop onto. So we are allowing you at that point, at that decision intersection, to decide if you're going back south for the 34 mile or if you're going to continue west for that 77 mile.
Good questions, everyone. Yes, that is correct, Lisa. If you are part of our I Ride with MS, you can start at any time. You will get a separate wristband from everyone else that allows you to hop in any wave.
Yep.
Go
Go ahead.
There is
the lunch stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we did did get approval to add, so Kit, you were correct, but we have recently added lunch back at Berthoud. It will be box sandwiches, so it is individual serving styles. There is going to be limited shade there. We're not going to have snow cones and things like that. JM is going to be providing Otter Pops at least, so single serve, grab and go kind of cold snacks for you as well. So there will be a lunch that we were able to add back in, and then a hot lunch at the finish line. You were correct though, Kit. You were correct, and we changed it this last week.
That's a new development, so you were right. Oh, thank you, Wendy. We're happy to have you back, and I'm super excited that you started your own team this year. I think that's awesome. It's good to ride with friends. All right. Any other questions or thoughts that you might have? Oh, we got one here. Can families see us off and meet us at the finish? We do have some room for some spectators. They've allowed us to add that back in. So John, yes, you can bring some of your family. At this time, due to restrictions on the amount of people we can have at one time at Front Range Community College, we're not advertising that you can bring friends and family, but if they're there and you bring them, we're definitely not going to turn them away right now.
But any spectators that do arrive will need to go through the same mandatory check-in process that riders, volunteers, and staff need to go through it.
Great, thank you for adding that. Thank you. All right. Well, we appreciate those kind words you're sending our way.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do any of this without you, so right back at you. Yes. That was one of the first things we thought to add back in was that lunch for all of you riding that longer distance in the heat. All right. What else? Anybody have any other questions? This is being recorded, so we will be posting it online for you to be able to share with your team if you'd like, rewatch it if you'd like. And we also will provide the link to the safety video so you can share that. But I know I, for one, am really excited to see everybody here in just about 2 weeks. Hopefully you guys are all feeling something similar. And if we don't have any other questions, I guess we will end it. If you do have questions, feel free to email myself, Jana, or Brittany, and we can find an answer for you. Well, thank you. Excellent. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. These are very nice of you.
You guys earned every one of them, and you always do. Thank you very much on behalf of all us patients for everything you and the whole organization does for all of us and our families. Thank you.
My pleasure. Our pleasure. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. We will see you soon.
Yep. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
We have one more question. We have 1,530 riders so far.
Yes. And climbing.
Mm-hmm. All right.